is the real action, the pot party. John surrenders his dignity and lays his future on the chopping block. Not whether it's good or bad or right or wrong.
So I just had this idea, and I'm not going to script this or anything. So I was finishing up making the Too Stupid to Survive Bird Box video. So it's almost done. It's about 75% done right now. So I just had this idea, and I thought, Bird Box seems so stupid that you wonder how it ever got made into a movie. Like, somebody actually wrote this script, somebody read it, gave them money, they filmed it, watched the movie, and then they still decided that it should be put out. It's like so flawed, and the thing that stands out to me is, and I'll point it out at the end of Too Stupid, is that the doctor is at the end of the movie. So when she gets to the place, the doctor's there. And I thought, that's strange, because when she left the hospital with her sister, the doctor was at the hospital. So they were basically in the same area. So they both had to survive and escape the city and get to this blind school. And 5 years later, I thought, what are the odds of that? That seems highly improbable that would happen. But then I thought, is Bird Box secretly genius? Did this movie go over everybody's head to the point where we're calling something stupid and missing the point of what it's supposed to be? Now, I haven't read the book. I haven't read a synopsis of the book or a review of the book or anything like that. So maybe I'm coming up with this and this is exactly what the movie is supposed to be. So if that's the case, then the next couple minutes I'm just going to look like an ass because I'm saying something that's obvious. But this is just off the top of my head here. So the doctor's at the end of the movie. And I had to take myself out of it being a story about, some monster that makes you kill yourself if you look at it. And then I thought, well, what situation would a doctor be there for Sandra Bullock at the end of a journey? And then I thought, well, what are the kids doing the entire movie? They're going down a stream. They're going down something towards the doctor. Are you guys following me now? Are you with me? Am I just tripping right now? Am I just losing my fucking mind? Okay, so after her and her sister leave the doctor's, she says she doesn't want to know the gender of the kid, right?
You still don't want to know the gender?
And I thought, is that why there are a boy and a girl that are the exact same age? They were born the exact same day, and they're both going down this river. And then there's the part where she has to she says, we need one of us to look. And the boy says he wants to look. And she's like, no. Like, that's her internally trying to make the decision. Does she want it to be a boy or a girl? And in the end, she makes the decision to do what? To remain blind. To just not know the thing until it actually happens. And just leave it up to fate, I guess. In the beginning part, out of nowhere, this thing just happens. And I think this is where her water breaks. And that's what this situation is. And the remainder of the movie is the internal kind of struggle with this process of giving birth and her kind of mentally adapting to the reality that her world will never be the same. And she has to give up all these ideas that she had. Tom represents the idea of having this free romance. She has to give that up. That has to die in her mind for her to fully embrace being a mother. And in the end, the actual Bird Box is a representation of that. In the end, she gets to the place, she opens up the box, and the birds are free, as in her giving birth. And then the doctor shows up, and introduces her to the kids, and that's her process of her finally becoming a mother and accepting that. And I thought of it's kind of like the movie Stay. Great movie, by the way, too, where the entire movie, I hate to spoil this, it's really awesome. It shouldn't matter if you watch it anyway, though, but the whole process of that movie is that you find out that this kid is dying, and the whole movie is going on in his head, and a lot of elements or a lot of features that he's seeing throughout the movie are the people that are sitting around him as he's laying down on the street dying. I think I got into a car accident. But I thought, is that what this kind of is too? Like, all these people that are around her, all the people in the house are... Her water broke at that point, and all these people came around to try to help. And one by one, these people had to leave for various reasons. Like, the funny guy, he had to go back to work Like maybe he was on the lunch break and that's why he left the movie. If you also look every now and then when they show the river scenes, they'll show like how many hours at the bottom. It'll say like 6 hours or 45 hours or something, or 25 hours or something like that. Wouldn't it make more sense if that represents that many hours in labor? Because how many hours they're on the river shouldn't really mean anything. It shouldn't have any significance, right? Does that make sense? Am I tripping? And the last thing was how her and the sister talk about horses a lot. And then even on the TV, they show random footage of a horse running down the freeway, and she stares at it for a minute. But the whole time throughout the movie, her sister's kind of teasing her about that. Like she's not going to be free anymore because she's saying like, oh, you should come out with the horses and stuff. And then they talk about the dad, how the dad was kind of out on a ranch or something. Or I forgot how they said it, but they're like, he's out on like a stud farm or something. Like they keep referencing horses as being like free and kind of, I don't know. Am I tripping or does any of that make sense?